So here we have to find out the magnetic field intensity due to a circular current carrying conductor at a point on its axis. So if I consider the circular current carrying conductor like this, where the current is flowing anti-clockwise, so you can see we are trying to find out the magnetic field at this point, and this is on which my pointer is going. This is actually your OP. Am I clear? So this is the actually we are considering the OP. So this is actually your DL, and this is also DL. Now this is your R. So I consider this R to be this point, and this distance is R from this small strip over here. Now what should be the direction of the current element? And over here what shall we be using? We'll be using Biot-Savart law, where dB is equals to, that is mu by 4 pi I dl sine of theta divided by 4 pi r square, or rather already I have written the 4 pi, so this will be r square. So over here I dl sine theta 4 pi r square, so this is your dB. Now the best part over here is that we have to find out the value of theta over here, because this is already r, and you can also say that r over here is equals to root over of a square plus x square according to Pythagoras theorem. Now here if I consider the direction of the current element, how to consider the direction of the current element? So that current element will be tangential to this, so I'll consider the direction something like this. So this will be my direction of the current element, isn't it? So this will be the direction of the current element. This is very, very important. The direction of the current element is something like this. So you can conclude from here, if I ask you what is the angle between the radius vector, this radius vector, if I consider what this is the radius vector, and this ideal direction, if I consider what should be the direction, angle between them, the angle between them is actually 90 degrees. You can see very well this angle is actually 90 degrees. So according to the Biot-Savart law, we can say this theta, in this equation of Biot-Savart law, I can write theta equal to 90 degrees. So the equation will be dB is equals to mu I dl sine 90 divided by 4 pi r square. So sine 90 divided by 4 pi r square. What is sine 90? Sine 90 is equal to 1. So we can say that dB is equals to mu I dl by 4 pi r square. So this is very, very important. So we have got the value of the expression of this dB, which is equals to mu I dl by 4 pi r square. So we have got this value. Now let me come to another very, very important aspect, that what should be the direction of the magnetic field. So the direction of the magnetic field will be equals to, so let me just consider this to be a line of reference over here, and which is perpendicular to the axis. So the direction of the magnetic field, very, very important, children. The direction of the magnetic field therefore will be perpendicular to this radius vector. So I can draw like this. So this is the direction of the magnetic field. So I can also draw this. This is the direction of the magnetic field due to the lower part of the DL. So this will be something over here. So this will be something like this. So these are the direction of the magnetic field. And for this, which magnetic field I am talking about? This is the magnetic field dB. So I can write over here, this is your dB and this is also your dB. Very, very important. And I consider this, suppose phi. So this will be your 90 minus phi, and this is your 90 minus phi, means this will be your phi. This is again phi, so this will be 90 minus phi. So this will be once again phi. Am I clear? So this is dB is phi. So we can resolve this dB into components. If I try to resolve this dB into component, what it will look like? So this will be equals to the component along this. So this is equals to dB cos phi. Another component therefore will be equals to dB sin phi. So I will just write like this. So this is your dB sin phi, and this is the component for the upper part I am considering. And for the lower part, if I consider, So for the lower part, if I just consider, say for example, I take this different color so that you can understand clearly. So over here, for the lower part, this dB will be directed like this. So this will be directed, the lower part, the dB will be directed like this. This is dB cos phi component, and the dB sin phi component will be directed like this. So I can easily write it from here, children, that for the upper part, this will be your dB cos phi, and this will be your dB sin phi. And for the lower part, I can write this is your dB cos phi, dB sin phi, and this is your dB cos phi. So very, very important thing we have concluded over here. Here we find that this dB cos phi and this dB cos phi are cancelling each other. So we can say only the dB net is present over here, and that is equals to dB sin phi. Am I clear? So only the dB net that is present over here, that is equals to the dB sin phi. So this is very, very important. So the dB net that is present, that is equals to dB sin phi. So only the sin phi component is there. Now you can tell me that okay, there are two sin phi components. One is dB sin phi for the upper part, dB sin phi for the lower. I have taken over here dB sin phi, 1 dB sin phi. So I can integrate the entire dl for the, so I can integrate the entire dl to 2 pi a. But suppose if you want to take dB net as 2 dB sin phi, then you can integrate the dl to pi a. So that brings you the same answer. So you can take any way you like it. So now I will find out what is B net. So let me, and another thing I like to tell you before I go, what is sin phi? Can I not write sin phi is equals to perpendicular, that is A divided by R. So sin phi is equals to therefore A upon R. So I quickly move on to the next part. So that is already we have got dB is equals to mu I dl by 4 pi r square, and we have got dB net is equals to dB sin phi. So I quickly put the value of dB and sin phi in this equation. So I'll get mu I dl by 4 pi r square, and sin phi is equals to, we have already got A upon R. So we get dB net is equals to mu I by 4 pi r cube into A dl. Now in order to find the B net, we have to integrate. So if I integrate over here, so this is integrated, and this will be equal to 0 to 2 pi a, and this will be from 0 to B net. So you'll be getting over here, that is B net is equals to mu I a divided by 4 pi r cube into 2 pi a. So this is equals to 2 pi a. So hence we get from here, this is 2, and the final answer that you are getting, that is equals to mu I a square divided by 2 r cube. Now what was r? We have already seen r was equals to a square plus x square whole to the power half. So r is equals to a square plus x square whole to the power half. So if I just put it over here, my final answer of B net will come to as mu I a square by 2 bracket a square plus x square whole to the power 3 upon 2. So this is the final answer that you will be getting, that is mu I by this. Now for n number of turns, suppose the coil was having n number of turns. So what can I write over here? So for n number of turns, for n number of turns, the total V net would have been mu into ni a square by 2 bracket a square plus x square whole to the power 3 by 2. So this is the magnetic field intensity due to a circular current carrying conductor at a distance x from the center on its axis. So this is the expression for magnetic field intensity. Now from here, if I wish to find out the magnetic field intensity at the center, so B net at the center of the coil, at the center of coil. So what shall it be? We can replace x equals to 0 and see, you will get back the same answer that you know, that is a very popular answer, that is mu Ni by 2a. So you will be getting this, and this is a magnetic field due to a circular current carrying conductor at the center of the coil. So if I try to draw the graph to show the variation, what it will be looking like. So let me quickly move on to the next page. So the graph will be something like this. Over here, if I take the graph over here, so okay, so this is how. So this will be something like this, and I consider, say for example, this is my y-axis, and in the y-axis I will show you the, I will just mark the magnetic field, and over here this is my x-axis, that is the variation of x distance. So in this case, this is our magnetic field and this is your x. So what was the expression we got? B is equals to mu Ni by 2 bracket Ni a square 2 bracket a square plus x square whole to the power 3 by 2. So this we have already got there. So you have seen that we have already got this part over here. So now at the center, that is maximum, because at the center the magnetic field will be maximum. So let me write it as, this is our B max, that is at the center. At the center means we have already taken x equal to 0. So and if I just put it in as x tends to infinity, so in this equation if I write x tends to infinity, so magnetic field will be tending to 0. Now if you consider a circular coil like this, suppose if I consider a circular coil, so if I quickly consider a circular coil like this, you can take the distance both way. That means either you can take this direction, so you can take this direction also, and you can take the distance in the other part of the axis also. That means in this direction your x will be positive, here the x is positive, and this is your x dash, and this is your origin. So this is how this diagram will look like. So similar, taking this into consideration, will be drawing the diagram. So as x tends to infinity, you have already seen b tends to 0, and at x equals to 0, you have seen that magnetic field intensity is maximum, that we have already found it. So the graph will be something like this. So this is how the graph will be in both the direction. So this will be quite symmetrical. So this is how the variation of magnetic field with the distance from the center. So we have done today this total proof, which is very, very important.